Welcome to the additional podcast called Divorce Tips, where I answer some of the most asked questions regarding before, during, and after divorce. These are 10-minute golden nugget episodes to give you as much information as possible from a divorce expert. That's me. Let's go. Today's episode of Divorce Tips, I'm going to answer the question of what do I do to get support or to take care of custody during the pendency of my divorce. A lot of times, divorces take time. There, are months that could go by, even years, before you can actually finalize a divorce. But there's so many things that are up in the air that can be really scary and that you don't know what you're going to do. And so you need some help or you need some orders right now during the pendency of your divorce. In Utah and in Texas, we call those temporary orders. And what those are orders of the court to kind of bridge the gap between the start of divorce and the end of divorce. They're temporary in nature, which means that they will end once a final order is in place. Those temporary orders, usually you have to file with the court. So you have to ask the court for temporary relief to give you these temporary orders during the pendency of your divorce. In Utah specifically, you have to file what's called a motion for temporary orders, and there's timelines for that. In Utah, you cannot get a temporary order hearing quicker than 28 days after you file the motion. So when you come to me and you say, I need immediate help, a lot of times we have to say, I'm sorry, we can't get you immediate help, but we'll get you into court as quickly as possible. And we can give you information on what you need to do to try to alleviate or to protect yourself during the time frame between when we file and actually get a court date. I know in Texas, being licensed there, you can get a court date a lot quicker there, but not necessarily immediate. So there are things you have to do to protect yourself that you have to, maybe get an attorney's advice on to help you bridge from, the time you file to the time you can actually get to court. It's not immediate. In fact, the only time you can get emergency orders in Utah specifically are if you can prove there's some kind of abuse happening, or you can show that there's immediate and irreparable harm. And I know that that's probably the standard to get an emergency order in a lot of states. But immediate and irreparable harm in Utah is actually not defined. It's very, very subjective to whatever the courts believe. So one judge could be, I don't know where my kids are going to go to school. We're in this frenzy. That's immediate and irreparable harm. Well, a commissioner one day could find that that is immediate and irreparable harm, can issue an emergency order that gives you a hearing very, very quickly. But another judge, another commissioner could say, no, that's not immediate and irreparable harm. File a motion for temporary orders. I'll see you in court in 6 weeks. It's all very, very dependent. And I know it's really frustrating because you just want things done now. You want it done quickly, but there's just no way I can guarantee you quick relief. So the best thing you can do if you're in this frenzy, if you don't know what you're going to do, you don't know how to support yourself, there's a lot of unanswered questions, hire a good, competent attorney. They're going to be able to help you. They're going to be able to answer your questions. They're going to be able to give you advice on what you need to do to protect yourself, to bridge that gap and get you to where you need to go so that you can make sure that you're taken care of for the next little bit. The other thing I can tell you is find your tribe that's going to be able to help you, because for one instance, if your husband is in control of all the finances and cuts you off and you need help immediately, but I might not be able to get you help immediately, find help through your tribe who can kind of bridge your ability to take care of yourself until we can get to court. I promise you, by the time we get to court, I can get the judge to backdate it to the date of filing if necessary, or I can get you some relief. But Until then, I need you to be able to figure it out. Go get a loan, go get, credit card. There's a lot of things you can do. But before you do that, please talk to an attorney so you can do the best thing to protect yourself, your future, and your family. There's your divorce tip. Tune in till next week. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, follow, and share. I'd love to hear your questions and feedback. You can contact me at community@jillcoil.com. See you next time. I am an attorney, but I am not your attorney. Any advice given on the podcast is general and shall not be construed as legal advice.